Spirit warriors. Ever walked into a room and instantly felt the energy shift? Like your soul picked up something your eyes couldn't see? Have you ever wondered why being in crowds drains you? Why even around people you love, you sometimes feel completely alone? What if I told you it's not a flaw, it's your spiritual calling? There was once a woman named Alara. Bright soul, radiant energy, always smiling. People gravitated toward her, yet she often found herself retreating into solitude. After family gatherings, she'd need days to recharge. After social events, she felt hollow, like her spirit had been scraped clean. She thought she was antisocial, broken. But one day an old mystic told her, "Alara, you aren't broken. You're chosen. You were never meant to blend in. You were born to stand apart." That hit her like a wave of divine confirmation. Spirit warriors, chosen ones like Alara and like you, are not wired to thrive in the noise of the world. You were made with spiritual sensitivity so sharp, it slices through masks, lies, and low vibrations. You don't just walk into a room, you spiritually read it. So why can't chosen ones be around a lot of people? Is it arrogance? Is it trauma? Is it some kind of superiority complex? Nah, it goes deeper than that. It's spiritual, it's energetic, it's divine. Because you don't just carry light, you are light. And light reveals everything. As Carl Jung once said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But here's the thing. Becoming who you truly are requires separation, isolation, elevation. Chosen ones, I made this video for you. If you're tired of pretending, of shrinking to make others comfortable, if you're done asking, "What's wrong with me?" when nothing is wrong at all, stay. Watch till the end and you'll see. There's a holy reason why your spirit keeps saying, not too many people, not too much noise, just me and God. So buckle up, spirit warriors. This one's about to go deep. Point 1. Your energy is sacred. Chosen ones, you are not like everyone else. And you've probably known that your whole life. You move differently, feel deeply, and see through things most people miss. That's because you're like spiritual batteries, charged with divine light, insight, healing, and discernment. You carry a frequency that uplifts others, even when you're not trying. Ever notice how people just seem to gravitate toward you with their problems? They vent, unload, or simply sit in your presence and poof, they leave lighter, happier, clearer. Meanwhile, you're left wondering why you suddenly feel like you've run a spiritual marathon. That's not in your head, that's spiritual transfer. It's very real. In energy healing and spiritual science, it's known that empaths, intuitives, and spiritually awakened individuals can absorb the emotional energy of others. Studies in quantum physics even show that human consciousness interacts with energy fields, meaning your very presence can shift atmospheres. People subconsciously plug into your light, and when you don't set boundaries, you end up spiritually bankrupt. But here's the twist. You're not weak for needing rest. You're wise for recognizing the cost of your gift. Your energy is sacred. And just like a battery, you're not meant to be drained dry by every phone that wants a charge. Some people aren't coming to you for connection. They're coming for consumption. And if you let them, they'll take and take until you have nothing left for yourself. That's why God didn't assign you to everybody. You have divine permission to disconnect. Not everyone deserves access to your frequency. Your solitude is not loneliness, it's spiritual maintenance. When your soul begins to crave quiet, stillness, or space, listen. That's not you being antisocial, moody, or standoffish. That's alignment. That's the divine GPS redirecting you to rest, recharge, and receive instruction. Jesus himself often retreated to the mountains alone. He knew the power of stillness. If the Son of God needed to recharge in solitude, you can too. So stop feeling guilty for protecting your peace. You are a chosen one, not a charging station. People may not understand your boundaries, but they will respect your glow once they see how unstoppable you become when you prioritize your energy. Your solitude is sacred, your light is priceless, and your calling is too important to waste on energy leeches. Point 2. You see what others ignore. Ever wonder why being in a room full of people drains you faster than a phone on 1% battery? It's not that you're antisocial or overly sensitive, it's that you see in a way others don't. Chosen ones don't just look at people, you see through them. It's not a trick or something you turn on and off. It's a spiritual mechanism, deeply ingrained in your soul. Your eyes might be on the surface, but your spirit is constantly scanning, interpreting, and discerning energies that most people are completely blind to. When someone smiles at you, you don't just see teeth. You hear the tone underneath, feel the intention behind the grin. A compliment, you sense whether it's genuine or dipped in envy. A hug, you know if it's fueled by love or laced with resentment. While others are laughing at a joke, you pick up on the forced chuckle, the fake enthusiasm, or the hidden jab tucked behind casual words. You notice the way someone avoids eye contact when lying. You detect the tension in their shoulders when they're hiding shame. You feel the jealousy when someone claps for your win but secretly hopes you fail next time. This is more than intuition. This is prophetic perception. The divine ability to read vibrations, intentions, and emotional frequencies with stunning clarity. Science might call it heightened empathy or emotional intelligence, but spiritually, it's a gift. It's your God-given radar designed to protect you and elevate your discernment. According to psychological research, only a small fraction of the population, known as empaths or highly sensitive persons, have this depth of perception. But for chosen ones, it's more than just emotional awareness. It's a calling, a spiritual assignment. That's why being around many people becomes exhausting. Your spirit is always on, always reading between the lines, catching things others miss. It's like standing in a room where everyone's on different radio frequencies, and you hear all of them at once. It's not paranoia, it's perception. It's not being judgmental, it's being divinely alert. And while others may mock your silence or accuse you of overthinking, don't doubt yourself. Trust your gift, that tingling feeling in your gut, that moment your heart tightens around someone's presence. That's your warning system. Respect it, because chosen ones don't just walk in rooms, they discern them. Point 3. Small talk feels like spiritual static. You were never meant for small talk and shallow waters. You were born with a voice wired to speak about purpose, destiny, healing, God, and the sacred mystery of life itself. So when you find yourself in conversations that orbit around gossip, the latest trends, celebrity drama, or what someone wore last Friday, something in you quietly detaches. On the outside, your lips might curl into a polite smile. You might nod, laugh at the right time, and even say, "That's crazy," when the moment calls for it. But inside, your soul is already drifting, halfway up a mountain, whispering with angels, searching for meaning in the stars. And no, it's not arrogance. It's not that you think you're better than others. It's spiritual chemistry. Some people are just wired for the deep. They crave truth, not tea. They want soul talk, not small talk. They ask, "What's your purpose?" not, "What's your zodiac sign?" They wonder why we're here, not who said what to whom on social media. These people, chosen ones like you, have been marked by divine design. Your calling is to elevate conversations, not be consumed by empty noise. According to psychologist Carl Jung, meaningful engagement with the self and spirit is a crucial step toward individuation, the process of becoming truly whole. That's why your discomfort in shallow dialogue isn't social awkwardness. It's your soul resisting fragmentation. Your energy knows that mindless chatter dilutes your essence. It longs for depth, for the sacred, for the real. And science even backs this up. Studies published in the Journal of Psychological Science have shown that people who engage in more substantive conversations, those that go beyond the superficial, tend to report greater levels of happiness and life satisfaction. So the next time you feel out of place in a room full of small talk, know that it's not a flaw. It's your divine compass pulling you back toward alignment. You weren't designed to float in puddles. You were built to dive into oceans. You carry ancient wisdom, spiritual insight, and a destiny far greater than momentary chatter. Don't shrink to fit the surface when you were made for the deep. Embrace your nature. Let others talk at tables while you speak to mountains. Point 4. Your presence exposes darkness. Ever walked into a room and felt the temperature shift, not because of the air conditioning, but because you walked in? You didn't say a word, yet suddenly people start fidgeting, over-explaining, or avoiding eye contact. They laugh a little too loud, act a little too busy, or suddenly feel the need to justify their every move. It's not your perfume. It's not your clothes. It's your presence, and whether you know it or not, it carries light, a light that convicts the darkness in others. See, when you're a chosen one, you don't have to preach a sermon to ruffle feathers. Your authenticity, your discipline, your calm energy, it speaks volumes. It's not about being perfect or better than anyone else. It's about alignment. When you're aligned with truth, growth, and purpose, people who are avoiding those very things feel it, not because you're judging them, but because your energy exposes what they've been trying to hide, from the world and from themselves. Psychologically, this is known as social comparison theory. We tend to evaluate ourselves in relation to those around us. So when someone grounded, disciplined, and spiritually awakened enters the room, those who have been coasting or hiding from their own potential start to feel exposed, even if you say nothing. Your life becomes a silent mirror that reflects their excuses, and that mirror can be very uncomfortable. And here's the twist. Many will try to label you as intimidating, aloof, or too much. But what they're really saying is, I'm not ready to face the truth you unintentionally remind me of. It's spiritual, it's energetic, it's the weight of purpose brushing against the walls of complacency. But don't dim your light just to make others comfortable in their shadows. Your presence may shake people up, but it also plants seeds. Seeds of curiosity, seeds of change, seeds of transformation. Some will water those seeds later, even if they don't thank you for planting them now. So the next time you notice someone squirming in your light, don't shrink, smile, walk taller, and keep shining. You're not here to blend in, you're here to awaken. Because chosen ones don't chase validation. They carry conviction. And that's why the room changes when you enter. Point 5. You're not meant to be understood by the masses. Jesus was misunderstood. Prophets were cast out. Truth-tellers have always been rejected, ridiculed, or even silenced. This isn't just a spiritual phenomenon. It's a pattern deeply woven into the fabric of human history. When you carry a light that reveals shadows, don't be surprised when people flinch. When your presence speaks truth without you saying a word, expect resistance. If you've ever found yourself alone in a room full of people or labeled as too deep, too intense, or too much, take heart. You're not strange, you're chosen, and you're in divine company. From Socrates to Martin Luther King Jr., history tells us that those who challenge the norm, who speak inconvenient truths, are often pushed to the margins before their wisdom is welcomed. Why? Because truth disrupts, it stirs, it shakes comfort zones, and not everyone is ready for clarity. Many people are addicted to static, the noise of distraction, shallow conversations, surface living. But you were born broadcasting clarity. Your frequency is heaven-tuned, and not everyone has the bandwidth to receive it. Science backs this too. In psychology, there's a phenomenon known as cognitive dissonance, the discomfort people feel when confronted with truths that contradict their beliefs. Instead of adjusting their worldview, they reject the messenger. That's you. But don't let that harden your heart. You weren't meant to blend in with the noise. You're the wake-up call, the alarm clock in a world that keeps hitting snooze. Stop trying to be understood by people who can't even hear your frequency. You don't need their validation to walk in your assignment. The light doesn't ask the dark for permission to shine, it just shines. Jesus didn't adjust his message to gain popularity. The prophets didn't soften the truth to win approval, and you shouldn't either. There's power in being misunderstood. It means you're not repeating the narrative, they are. And when people finally tune in, whether in a week or in a lifetime, they'll realize you were speaking truth all along. Until then, keep walking in your purpose. Keep shining. You're not here to make people comfortable. You're here to wake them up. Let the static buzz for others. You've got divine work to do. Point 6. Spiritual protection requires boundaries. God didn't anoint you to be everyone's best friend. The divine power of discernment and boundaries. Let's get real for a moment. God didn't handpick, anoint, or equip you with purpose and power just so you could people-please your way through life. That no you feel deep in your gut when someone invites you to a place that doesn't sit right with your spirit. That's not random. That's divine protection in action. It's heaven's way of pulling you away from distractions, draining energy, and environments that don't deserve access to your calling. What you might interpret as social anxiety or awkwardness could, in fact, be your spirit shouting, "This is not your space." We've been conditioned to believe that setting boundaries makes us cold, rude, or distant. But in truth, boundaries are holy. They are the invisible fences that preserve your peace, protect your energy, and honor your assignment. Think about it. Jesus himself didn't go everywhere or hang with everyone. He wasn't available to just anyone at any time. He withdrew to pray. He left crowds behind. He said no to temptations. That wasn't arrogance, it was alignment. Now let's talk about that unsettling vibe you sometimes get around certain people. That's not just a bad feeling, it's spiritual discernment, a gift many ignore in favor of fitting in. But here's a fact: energy never lies. Your spirit knows what your mind hasn't yet processed. Studies in psychology have shown that our subconscious can pick up on microsignals, tone, body language, hidden tension, faster than we can articulate. So when you feel a warning from within, don't brush it off. Your soul is far wiser than you think. You're not rejecting people. You're respecting your mission. And trust me, not everyone has the maturity or the character to walk with you where you're headed. Some places will drain your oil, delay your growth, or compromise your calling. And some relationships are lessons, not lifelines. Protecting your purpose may look like declining invitations, limiting conversations, or walking away from what no longer aligns. And that's okay. In this season, be more loyal to your calling than to your comfort. Understand that not every invitation is meant to be accepted, and not every connection is meant to last. Because some places, some people, and some energies, your assignment simply cannot afford to entertain them. And that's not rejection, it's spiritual preservation. Point 7. Your journey requires separation for elevation. Every chosen one has a wilderness season, and it's never by accident. This season of isolation, discomfort, and inner warfare isn't punishment, it's preparation. Think about Moses. He was raised in Pharaoh's palace with wealth, status, and privilege. Yet before he could lead a nation, he had to spend 40 years in the wilderness tending sheep. Why? Because God doesn't send untested leaders to do divine work. Jesus himself, sinless, pure, and all-powerful, still faced 40 days in the desert, fasting and being tempted. That wasn't for show. It was for strengthening. Joseph, with his dreams and favor, was thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, imprisoned and forgotten, before he ever touched a throne. The pattern is undeniable. Wilderness always comes before the crown. God removes you from the familiar to refine you. Isolation becomes the furnace where your character is forged and your purpose is purified. In that silence, you learn to hear him. In that stillness, you find out who you really are. It's not rejection, it's redirection. Loneliness may ache, but it's sacred. It's divine surgery. While others chase pleasure, you're being pruned. While they mingle and network, you kneel and listen. It feels like you're missing out, but in truth you're being marked out for greatness. You're not being punished, you're being positioned. Because where you're going, not everyone can follow. Not every friend is fit for your future. Some weights can't make it to the mountaintop. God's elevation always comes with elimination. Don't resist the pruning, embrace it. That wilderness is not where your story ends. It's where the next chapter is written in fire and faith. The chosen ones are made in solitude, not spotlight. Your silence is sacred, your season is strategic, and your promotion is coming. Spirit warriors, hear this loud and clear. You are not too much, you are not broken, you are not antisocial, you are chosen. And the chosen must be set apart. Don't apologize for needing space. Don't explain why you avoid certain crowds. Don't feel guilty for craving solitude. You were built for more. And more requires less noise, fewer distractions, and deeper spiritual clarity. So if your path feels lonely, good. That means you're on the right path. Let the world do what it does. You stay divine, stay discerning, stay set apart. Chosen ones, the fewer people around you, the clearer you hear God. Now that is holy. Stay awake, angels. Your isolation is not punishment, it's preparation.